So today we are going to look at Learning Target 17, Day 1, which is Slope-Intercept Form. So how can an equation in Slope-Intercept Form be analyzed? So first we need to figure out what is Slope-Intercept Form. Well, Slope-Intercept Form is written in the form of y equals mx plus b, where b is the y-intercept and m is the slope or rate of change. So that's what we've been talking about the last learning target. Also, it can be simplified as the y equals start plus change times x minus 1. So we worked on that a couple learning targets ago, and if you simplify that, it gets you the y equals mx plus b. So y equals mx plus b is our slope-intercept form. So what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is the y value in the ordered pair where the graph of the line crosses the y-axis. So if you have a graph here and a line, we want to know where it crosses the y-axis, and that would be at this point here. So that's what it means by the y-intercept. So we want to identify parts of an equation. How do you pick out the slope and the y-intercept? So here it gives us a problem, y equals negative 3x plus 2. So our equation, if you'll remember, is y equals mx plus b. And if you scroll up, you'll find that m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. And again, where that crosses the y-axis. So we need to identify those key pieces. So if we look in the first example, we have negative 3, and we also have the number 2. Now we know that the slope is negative 3, so m equals negative 3, because it's in this position in this equation. So m equals negative 3, and I'm also going to write that that is the slope, just so we're clear. And the plus 2 at the end is your plus b, so b equals 2, and again that's the y-intercept. So let's try the next one. Y equals 1/2 x. Well, if you look back at y equals mx plus b, I want you to notice right away that our slope is connected to the x term, so m equals 1/2. And now let's go through and find the y-intercept, but we have actually plus 0, so our b value is equal to 0. Let's try the next one here. We have that y is equal to negative 5. So if we're trying to find the slope, we have plus 0x because we don't have that x term. So what that means is that our slope is equal to 0. And the other piece we have is the negative 5, which is our y-intercept. So y equals, so our b equals negative 5. So now we want to work in reverse. So we just looked at y equals mx plus b. And what we did was we were given this line, and we had to pick apart which is the slope and which is the y-intercept. Well, now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to use the slope, and we're going to use the y-intercept to write an equation of the line. So we want to write it again in this equation, y equals mx plus b. So this is really easy because you just plug in the numbers. So you have y equals mx plus b. So really it's y equals 3/4 x minus 2. The next thing we have is m equals -9 and b equals 5/7. So we want to write it as y equals mx plus b. So y equals -9x plus 5/7 is how you would write this equation. So we've looked at making an equation given the slope and the intercept. So we're going to try one new way, which is writing an equation of a line given a graph. So the first thing we do is find b, and remember b is our y-intercept, so where it crosses the y-axis. The second step is to find another point and count the rise over the run, or the change in y over the change in x, which is your slope. And the third step is to put your m and b into your y equals mx plus b. So that sounds really confusing, but we're going to work through a problem together. So it says, write the equation of the line shown in the graph. The first step we took in this problem is to figure out where it crosses the y-axis. So we want to find our y-intercept, or b. And it crosses the y-axis at -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our b is going to be equal to -5. So now we want to find the slope, and what we do for that is to figure out how we get from this point here over to this point. So we go up 1, 2, 3, so +3, and we go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we go up 3 and over 6. So what we have is the change in y over the change in x. The change in y is 3, and the change in x is 6. We can simplify that by dividing by 2, or by 3, which is 2, 1/2. So the change in y over the change in x is actually our slope, which is m. So we know that m equals 1/2. Now what we can do is create a new equation as y equals mx plus b. And what we do is we plug in what we know. We know what b equals and we know what m equals. So we have y equals 1/2 x minus 5. And now it's your turn to try all of the different ways we found the equation of the line. So you're going to identify the slope and the y-intercept from the equation, and then we're going to do the reverse of that. So given the slope and the y-intercept, write the equation. Then you're going to write the equation of the line shown in the graph. Good luck!